Future Man is supposed to be really good. They've got the Stephen King couple of series, although one of them
those are
was
just
with a Franco, and we know the Francos are falling out of favor. But the new George Clooney show, Catch 22, is supposed to be coming to Hulu. The new Castle Rock, I think it is what it's called. Stephen King TV series that takes place with a bunch of his different stories, like Pet Sematary, and I think The Shining and a bunch of other things are supposed to be in there. And it actually has a guy who played Pennywise in the It movie is going to be in it as well. So it's not based off of his
the little Skarsgård or the original Pennywise.
Little
Tim Curry is in no shape to be in front of him.
Well, he just did the live Rocky Horror last year.
Did he?
Yeah,
he played the doctor, so he was in the chair the whole time.
Oh,
but he was up there on stage doing the live show with everybody else. I read all about shock treatment this morning.
Speaking of Skarsgårds, when we were watching Thor, go full circle here. We noticed that there was another Skarsgård that popped up. We're like, wonder if it's coincidence. Whole family's actors.
Yeah.
Only Bill and whoever the fuck played the vampire were any good. And if you jump over to the oldest son, it's all Scandinavian films. Kind of looks like he got hit with a brick in the face.
Yeah, there's like 19 of them, and they're basically like the modern day Osmonds.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you want to actually start recording this? We got to stop doing this, Corey, where we like have kind of a solid conversation before we actually start recording an episode.
Well,
don't worry, I'm just catching a buzz. We'll be going still.
Yeah, I had to go get more, so I figured I might run out.
We're on YouTube, so I mean, as long as we're
but I guess. Although, what time is it for Growly right now? Like 4 in the morning?
Where the fuck is he at?
6 in the morning. He's in
Singapore.
Singapore, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't remember if it's 13 or it's 7 or 14 hours ahead. And I have to like look around my stack of cans to look at the clock on my computer.
You just count how many cans. It's like, this is how many hours back. 1, 2, 3. This is why I don't remember anything. 4, 8. 12.
Did you see the invite for next weekend with Russell for his movie?
I did. I haven't accepted it yet because it wasn't on a PC, and
no, it's fine. He hasn't accepted it either, but he's also supposed to give me the movie that we're supposed to watch.
Didn't
but
he?
He's in Bangkok, so that's 13 hours ahead of us. So it'll be like 9 a.m. Monday morning for him.
Oh, Jesus.
Which, yeah, he's like, "I'll just do it whenever." And I'm like, "How's this time work?" I don't know. Seems weird. We'll find out.
Everything I know about Bangkok is from that song, so I assume that he'll still be up, throwing down mad alcohol shit.
The only thing I know about Bangkok is cruel middle schoolers and learning what the capital of Thailand is.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Did you hear Matt's nipples go pert as soon as that beer opened?
Yeah.
Well, I know the key to Matt's heart and to his zipper as well. It's
That's
cracking
true.
of a cold beer.
It's very true.
His zipper actually is a bottle opener. And it also says directly on it, "No deposit, no return."
I don't know. I have those California ones that just say really hippy dippy shit on
them. They say made from raw water.
Be kind, recycle.
I had a guy from was it Florida? I don't know. I think I got beer from a guy in Florida. And he's like, "I'm sending a bunch of plastic bottles. Will you please recycle them for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, whatever."
Whatever floats your boat and gets me drunk.
Yeah. Well, it was like this beer that I've been trying to find for a really long time, and I think he got the better end of the deal, but I didn't care.
Tell me it was a postal truck, and then Newman and Kramer jumped out of the back.
No. I also don't get the Seinfeld reference.
I don't,
but I get that it is a Seinfeld.
It is a Seinfeld reference.
Okay. I was thinking Muffin Stumps, but that was about as far as I got.
The fuck is Muffin Stumps?
Oh, it's another Seinfeld reference.
Oh,
I'm out.
I thought for sure it was your pet name in prison.
It could be. It can be whatever you want. Yeah.
HR muffin stumps. He's
All right.
that Bubba humps.
God damn it, Corey, shut up. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you like that. Let's never fight again. I'm gonna start recording now.
for the fourth time.
This is literally how every one of these goes.
That's great.
Welcome to episode 114 of the podcast here, a production of the Galactic Network. I'm your host, Matt Stein. With me, as always, is Corey.
HR muffin stumps.
your local HR representative.
Yes, that's right. That's the HR and HR puffin stuff. He's human resources puffin stuff. He keeps all the craft puppets in line.
Huh?
Well, people don't really remember, but Sigmund the Sea Monster had a problem with touching. It's bad.
Everyone has a problem with touching right now.
Yeah, it's true.
We were watching live PD last night, and they arrested an 18-year-old for child pornography. It was fucking weird.
Ooh.
And his mom just yelled at him the whole time. I thought that was kind of funny. But I guess when you're 18, if you're, some 17-year-olds sending you nudie pictures, that's considered child pornography. I'm not condoning child pornography. I'd like to get that out of the way right away.
Turns out it was his dick pic from 6 months prior.
Mine or the kids?
The kids, come on.
I don't know. Do you know the kid? Are you the kid?
No, I'm 24. I am only here to make Corey feel very old.
That's true. That's our guest. That's Mason Clemens. He's a friend of ours. He became a friend of ours because Corey and I talk to the internet on a weekly basis. Then we had a muscle man on here. And then another guy. Now we're here. That's brought us to this moment in time.
Jack and Dan?
Yeah, Mason's a big Simpsons fan. Actually, I don't know if you even are.
So yes and no. I kind of fell out of it when they switched animation styles to the modern shit that you can't.
Oh, the new episodes are not good. I don't think I finished one in months.
Yeah, no, it's easily been years.
I just poured beer all over myself. I hope you guys saw that.
The Simpsons are what I watch when I'm waiting for Bob's Burgers to start.
Oh, I thought you were going to say The Simpsons are what you watch. Would you want to pull one out real quick?
That's true.
Rub out that
That's
easy
absolutely
one.
true.
Mason, you're a booze maker. I was going to say a bourbon maker, but you're much more than that. You're not just a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I'm a distiller. Make vodka, rum, bourbon, bunch of different whiskeys.
Make my dick hard. Yeah, you work at I really wish I should have looked this up. You sent me the bourbon, which was very nice of you, which I myself and a lot of people who come over have enjoyed. I actually am almost out of some, so we'll have to talk about me purchasing more here pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Sutherland Distilling is where that was from.
It's good shit. I still need to send you a box of beer as I drink like a mountain of IPAs sitting next to me. But
I was gonna say, how far down am I in the queue of people you owe beer to?
You're on top. The problem is this is stuff. This is stuff.
Confirming Matt's a bottom. Yeah,
I am a power bottom, but this is all stuff my buddy in Kansas sent me. So him and I have like this constant thing going on where if I see something and ship it to him, but you're the top of my list of people I owe beer to.
It's called enabling, by the way, just so we understand each other.
It's very true.
Hey, if there's sharing involved, it's not enabling. It's spreading the information.
It's friendships.
Like a cult of drunks.
Yeah.
That's AA, dude.
Yeah,
oh, that's good. That's good. You're what, a personal trainer too? Do you want to talk about your muscles?
I do a bunch of stupid shit. Work early in the morning doing personal training and breaking all the rules at my gym because I'm a terrible employee.
Do you grunt? Does your gym have rules
no, but I do
grunting?
slam a lot of weight. I do slam them, and I encourage slamming.
See, no,
else off, it's great.
You're that guy. Don't be that guy.
Oh, see, I'm only there from like 4:30 to 7 in the morning. So anyone who's there has earphones on and could really give a shit about anything else that's going on.
That's a good point. I did watch a kid, I guess as he was between 18 and 20, drag the bar across his knee till it bled, and then just dragged the bar across his knee as it bled. And didn't clean it off when he was done. I'm like, wow, cool. Everyone's gonna get AIDS.
Hey, who wants some Hep C? I got some Hep C.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? I hate that kid and his weird old man that he works out with.
Dude, there's a weird old man at the 24 here that we only refer to him as a racer nipple.
Man. What? Wait, what?
Eraser nipples perks Matt's attention. No.
Anything nipples perks my attention.
No, all this man wears is like short running shorts and a stringer. This dude's in his 70s, and those things are at least 2 inches long. Look like big old pink eraser caps that you put on your pencils back when you were in school.
National Geographic nipples.
Some Aborigine tribe has a competition if they could get theirs longer every year.
Man and his aboriginals, his agin nipples. No, all right. Thought that was gonna be funnier than it was.
All I got was aged nipples, and I already took us there.
There are 2 things I like aging: nipples and beer.
Well, see, there's a problem with that logic. You age beer, it only gets better. You age nipples, and they just start pointing further down.
Just the fucking gravity takes hold, and they start pointing south. Oh man, I wonder if we could make a aged nipple beer.
We could look back on that whole boob luge thing and just barrel it.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna brew a beer, we're gonna boob luge it into a barrel, and then age the barrels, bottle the beer,
and then we're gonna call it Blessings of Bust, and
then we're gonna question our lives. That's where I've gotten to in that little rundown.
That's step 1. Not sure what step 2 is, but step 3 is definitely profit there.
Well, they made a beer with I think there was testicles in one. There was shit. What comes out of a vagina? Babies. I don't know if it was full blown period blood or if it was just like the uterine lining that was dried and then crushed up and put in a beer.
Did they serve that at Red Wings games exclusively?
Weirdest stuff in beers. Googling it. 10 weirdest beers ever brewed.
Is it just the cover of a Metallica album?
That was cow's blood. Cow's blood and semen.
Yeah, there's got to be a honorable mentioning of Lil Wayne if we're going with weird concoctions.
What concoctions?
Oh, dude, it's what was his thing? Syrup?
Sprunk juice?
It's like, yeah, it was fucking cough syrup and 7-Up. Was that what it was?
Isn't that just lean? Is it not?
What was that? Dude, you can fucking rebrand anything.
That's really true. I just thought whatever rappers make with cough syrup is just lean. I don't know.
It is
white.
It is blanketly called purple drank.
Okay.
Including scissorp, lean syrup, drank, purple jelly. Oh, Texas tea. There we go. Dirty Sprite and zucchini. Not to be confused with zucchini, but that'd be a mix up at the bar.
That's odd.
People do stupid shit.
That's true. Like drink a shit ton of cough syrup because that's good for you.
Oh no, I've been pounding it all week.
Well, yeah. I mean, they take it a little further.
For reasons, though, right? It's not like recreational.
Yeah. I went through the same shit last week. You did.
Corey, I know you know my struggles in California here where you have to swipe your ID every time, even though there's no longer ephedrine in the drugs. What about you over there, Matt?
Only if you get stuff with ephedrine. And so if you get like the behind-the-counter Sudafed, and then you have to give your ID. But that's not that bad. I'm not like cooking meth with it anymore, so it's not really a big deal.
Keyword
it's amazing what you can get away with when you get your drugs from directly behind the big lot.
Are you making fun of me, or are you making fun of your back-assward state over there?
I'm just saying in general,
Hey, we have chicks with dicks, and they want us to respect them.
And we do.
Treat me special, but don't treat me special. That's the entire world right now.
I had respect for all my trans. I can't say brothers and sisters. I don't know what the
just friends, family, trans family,
loved ones. Yep.
Let me clarify. I have no problem with trans people. Whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. It's when you want to be treated special because you're trans, but you don't want to be treated special because you're just another person. That shit bothers me.
I think what it is that it takes being treated special for a while to even out the treated horrendously for a long time.
And that's the other thing.
To finally achieve a balance.
I, as a white man in my 30s, don't know what it's like to really be treated poorly.
Right. The lack of persecution in our lives makes it confusing when we see other people getting what we consider preferential treatment when it's really just like, yeah, but for my entire fucking life, I've had no place to pee. So
come to California, go hang out in Oakland for a couple hours, and then get back to me.
I was in San Francisco for a while. That was weird.
Yeah, it's mostly white people and Asians, anyways.
And homeless.
Yeah, that's a tricky city. Hey, let's go down this really nice part. Turn the corner. Oh, hey, let's not go there.
We stayed in a super, super expensive hotel right on Market Street. Is that the one where all the parades and shit are? It was like you take a right, it's just bums.
Yeah, I think San Francisco is one big, long parade route that's all uphill.
That's true. It was terrifying to like ride in cars.
Yeah,
you just get to the top, and then it's like you just wait for the car to like tip forward, and you hope you don't murder anyone while you're doing it.
Yeah, it's like the first thing you get to in Kings Island. You just wait, and then scream.
What the fuck is Kings Island?
Oh, I thought Kings Island you'd actually know. Cedar Point.
Oh, wait. The Cedar Point in like Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See,
I was just trying to name a famous amusement park. I was trying to remember ones that are out your way.
Well, there's a Six Flags in Chicago.
Well, that makes sense.
Excuse me, a Great America, because they're all named differently. But I'm not one for amusement parks. I don't like roller coasters. The first one I went on was with a girl who I think had a death wish. So when they would like put the bar down, she would basically like jam her feet at an angle so it couldn't hold you in all the way.
Yep.
So when you're going up and down, like you're fucking bouncing. And we went on like 2 rides, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never ever doing this again.
Did you not tell her that you're 4 times her size and that it won't go down all the way anyways?
I'm trying to think. Back then, I don't think I was quite as big back then. She was still smaller than me, but I was trying to have sex with her. That was before I found out she was insane.
Maybe she was saying that was your opportunity.
And she clogged my parents' toilet.
I need to send you the crazy hot scale, a la Barney Stinson.
Please do. I'm married. I need these things in my life. Are you sending it right now? I'm like, it got weird and quiet, and I didn't know what was happening.
Oh man, someone went into it a lot further. No, but the whole premise of it is that there's a line that is equal parts crazy and hot, and that to be on one side of it, you have to be really good at the other one.
Yeah. The hotter they are, the crazier they are.
No, it's like to be super, super crazy, you have to be really, really hot to counteract it.
Yeah, it's not automatic.
I see what you're saying. So it's like for it to be okay to be crazy, you have to be insanely hot. I thought it was more like the hotter you are, the crazier you are. So I get it.
That's like the normal line, and then you kind of want to stay on the hot side of it, not the crazy side of it. Look it up. It's great.
I'm looking it up right now. Oh, there is a video.
Oh yeah, there's some weird scientist guy that did it, but I like when Neil Patrick Harris explains it in How I Met Your Mother a lot better.
Is that show any good? Everyone keeps telling me it's funny and they make references and
it's got its moments.
It's good for a few seasons.
And that's the thing, like now these shows that are 12, 13 seasons, if it's not worth watching for a few good moments.
It's one of those shows that you have nothing else to watch. It's kind of like Friends. You know, you know how it starts, you know how it ends, you know the punchline of every joke.
Did you see that they're making a Friends movie now?
God damn it, leave things dead.
That's yeah, I kind of agree with that. I'm trying to think of like the last thing that was resurrected that was like really good. Resurrected.
Well, I mean, right now they're in the second season of the resurrection of X-Files, which has mixed reviews, but
yeah, I was never an X-Files fan. She hit what you say? She hates it?
My fiance hates the new X-Files. She's like, back when it first came out, it was the whole takes you forever to get to the point of something, and now bing to bang to boom, they got 3 points in one episode. I don't want that. I want my 7 episodes to get to one plot line.
Is she your age?
Yeah, we're both 24.
I was gonna say no, she's my age.
Well, I was because X-Files came out like when I was a kid, so
her mother is one
Early
of those
90s.
like psycho weird nerds that got her into X-Files and Star Wars at a very young age and probably traumatized her way more than I ever could.
So were you born in 93 or 94?
93.
Okay, so X-Files started in 93.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
I was gonna say my ex and I, her kid watched, and his favorite show was Buffy the Vampire Slayer because it was kind of our favorite show at the time. And so there was a point where you could kind of tell that a main character was about to be killed, and I had to pull my 4-year-old kid out of the room because I didn't want him to see it. I'm just like, oh no, oh shit, this is too far. There's an acceptance of like, oh, Buffy is Monster of the Week stuff and it's all cute and high school and everything, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, this is a really vicious moment and I don't want to traumatize this kid any more than he already probably is going to be. But his favorite movie was the Batman and Robin movie from Joel Schumacher, so I feel like it kind of balanced out.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned Sarah, Buffy, because Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it. She's also in this movie that we're going to talk about eventually.
Literally the only redeeming quality of that movie.
I was fucking shocked that Bill Pullman was in this too, but we'll get into that later.
I think Bill Pullman was also.
Do you think that maybe this movie, so the movie is The Grudge if you weren't paying attention last week, but do you think that maybe The Grudge is just one of the leaps?
I was thinking about that. Some of the plot lines were a little iffy. I was, man, I'm just waiting for her to just pull her stake out and start going to town, but no, nothing happened.
So The Grudge is actually just a Quantum Leap and Buffy crossover.
That wasn't Bill Pullman.
What? Who? Oh.
Scott Bakula was Quantum Leap. Bill Pullman, who normally gets confused with Bill Paxton for no reason whatsoever than the fact that.
Okay, can we agree that Bill Pullman and Scott Bakula kind of look alike?
I feel like you could take probably about 5 episodes of Quantum Leap and have inserted Bill Pullman in there, and nobody would have noticed. I'm sure I'll give.
I don't know if you're just saying that to make me feel less like an asshole.
I am. I absolutely am, but it's fine.
Well, if it makes you feel better. Who did I think it was? I thought it was Jeff Daniels at first. I'm like, wow, right. Jeff Daniels in this movie. And then I looked it up and I'm like, that's actually fucking Bill Pullman. Or Scott Bakula, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, Jeff Daniels, who often gets confused with Jeff Bridges. But now Bo Bridges.
Yeah. We're going to end up in some like weird...
Let's play 6 degrees of misconception here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it gets singled out a lot that you'll look at the current crop of, say, female pop singers or something like that, and you won't know which is which because they're all going for the same look. They're wearing the same kind of makeup. They're doing the same sound, all that sort of thing. But I think that there's a leading man thing from Hollywood that exists in the same respect, is that you want leading men who are kind of interchangeable, so that when you say, oh, Matt Damon wants too much money for this role, how can we get another one?
Damon.
We'll get Fat Damon, who's in the first episode of Black Mirror. Jesse Clemens, I think, or whatever his name is.
Okay.
Oh, he was he was on was he in Breaking Bad for a bit?
Fargo. I think he was in Breaking Bad.
Fargo. He was also on No Activity. That's CBS All Access show.
Oh, but by the way, Patriots won.
I know. Fuck you. I was trying to forget about it. But they didn't cover the spread, and that's what matters most. Now I just need the Vikings to win by more than 3. Which, if you're listening to the recording of this, you know the outcome already if you care about sports ball.
Well, if you're listening to the outcome of this, you can probably go to Matt's Untapped and see how drunk he was at the end of Sunday, and that will let you know if you want to. No, actually, I think you probably get shit faced no matter what. You're like Detroit when the World Series happens. It's like it doesn't even matter if we're in the fucking game. We're gonna destroy the entire fucking town.
If the day ends in Y,
like Oakland, anytime there's a shot at playoffs, or San Francisco, anytime they blow the playoffs.
So I was in. What weird? I mentioned I was in San Francisco before. I was in San Francisco when the Warriors won the finals, and it was like we were walking back from the bar, and it was just people yelling. Yeah,
yelling.
People need to get your shit on lockdown.
I live near Oakland, so I understand exactly what Mason's talking about with that. And I grew up in Detroit, and Detroit isn't content to just fuck around on Halloween. We created a whole holiday the night before called Devil's Night, which is strictly about just destroy everything.
Did you see? It's not worth anything anymore, anyways. You gotta just burn it to the ground and start over.
Yeah, but we were doing this in the '80s when it was still like we were on fire. But
did you see what Philadelphia
did?
So Philadelphia like greased up their light poles before the game so that people won't climb them. People need to get their shit together. Although, like when Green Bay wins, the entire city is just collectively drunk. Or on any Sunday, Tuesday. I was gonna say, or just any day the Packers play, or when it's cold out, or when it's hot out, or when the sun comes up. They're trying to lower the legal drinking limit to 0.5 here from like 0.1.
Probably good.
People are
0.1.
Yeah. Well, excuse. Well, yeah. Point 0.1. Yeah.
You know the rest of us over here at 0.08.
Yeah. I was like, I couldn't. Yeah. I'm drunk, so I'm not sure. But it's also like 5.
It's 0.1 when the cop just doesn't want to deal with you, and he's like, okay, if you crash, as long as he doesn't have to deal with it. Like my shift's almost over. You can either make it home, or if you die, I'm not going to be the one who has to fill the paperwork.
Don't say my name. You didn't see me.
Yeah. I'm going to hold you here for 3 more minutes because I'm off in 2. All right, you're free to go.
All right, sorry. Just stay between the lines. Stay between the lines.
Someone else's problem.
Ride the bumps.
Yeah, they always. My favorite part of when the Packers play is when they release like the arrests counts the next day. So it's always good to see like how if it's really cold or it's moderately warm in the middle of winter, there's always a shit ton of people that get arrested. Monday night games are pretty bad. Yeah, it's funny. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
For more on this podcast, including show notes, contact info, and subscriction links, you can go to gncast.com/pot. And chat with us on our Slack channel. What? How we do it now? We used to do news. We figured we were way too informative. So now this is it.
I'm all about whatever makes less work for me.
Just people getting in accidents on the highway, hitting their skip button.
That's true. I wonder how many people skip through that. I wish I could find out, but iTunes changes everything, and now no one fucking listens to us.
Or maybe that isn't what changed. Chat with us on our Slack channel during the shows. You can go to gncast.com/sign up, or you can meet us in the YouTube channel for Podcast of Terror specifically, where you can hang out with people like Raleigh and Mason's in there too. And we appreciate that. Some weird stuff happened with YouTube recently. It doesn't really affect us. We weren't getting advertising. In fact, we started the Podcast of Terror channel because we didn't want to fuck up the advertising for the rest of the network with all the stuff that we say and do.
Well, we kind of started it because we got the Galactic Network YouTube page banned from streaming for 90 days.
Yep.
So we just kind of went out on our own.
But we
got kicked out of the house at 18. That's what happened.
Yeah. We did. Kicked out of the basement. But we've had a couple people show up as subscribers this week. I don't know if it's because of that. They're just like, oh yeah, I'll add your subscription while I'm looking at the other things I do. Whatever. We appreciate it. But it's not about the ads for us. It's just about, being in places where you guys can find us and listen to us. So if you are there already and you want to participate, we like the participation.
I mean, one of them was me earlier today. So
I saw that. I was gonna name people, but it's Ashley and Mason, 2 people that are consistently here anyways. So
yeah, but we don't discount them for being here.
I do.
I
long
use
pause
it
in
to
there.
figure out what movies I need to still watch. So
All. You're like a strictly audio version listener though. I don't care if people watch the videos. I mean, if they want to see my stupid ass face for 2 hours, that's fine. But I guess I'd rather you listen to the podcast one way or the other than look at me. I don't know. I'm a little drunk and I'm just thinking about mozzarella sticks right now.
I mean, if you did the truffle shuffle, you might get more views.
No one wants to see me without a shirt on.
I'll watch
That's
it 9
the whole
times
point
right
of the
now.
truffle shuffle.
Yeah, but no one wants to see me without a shirt on.
So you're saying they're okay with seeing
You without
kid.
a shirt on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, come on,
no.
Corey. Take it off.
The wide action camera doesn't do enough.
Your giant nipples. They won't all fit in
Logitech doesn't
frame.
make that technology yet.
Oh.
Corey, you live in San Francisco. There are at least 30 strobe lights within a 5-second walk of you.
I live about an hour north of San Francisco. And speaking of hour north, I live in bear country. Let's face it.
Rar.
I get some acceptance, but I still, I don't feel good about myself. But I will say that I
love
shower
you just the way you
for
are.
the episodes. I shower because I know we're going to be on video. My hair is still wet as I sit here chatting with you guys.
I am also wet.
Yes,
Not my hair.
you're just dewy.
My butt cheeks.
Mm.
Get my butt cheeks nice and moist for this.
So that brings me to another question of refreshment, Matt. What you drinking?
Well, I'm halfway through number 2 because Mason's
What? That's so consistent with what we were just talking about.
I brought 3. I started out with 2, and then so I started with this e-juice. Yep, it's pretty colors.
We got that in California too, and people smoke it.
See, that's why I thought it was funny. This is all stuff that my buddy James from Kansas sent me.
E-juice sounds like something that came out in the 90s before the big tech boom crash, and it would have been one of those things you'd see sponsored on in Living Color episodes. It looks...
I fucking love In Living Color.
Who doesn't? That show was fucking great.
But yeah, it's a fruit IPA from Rough Tail Beer. Now I'm drinking Maxed Out, which is an IPA. If you can't tell, James likes sending me IPAs from Maryland. Last but not least is an IPA from Other Half, and go with the flow.
Is that containing the vagina juices you were talking about earlier? Because that sounds accurate.
Pretty purple colors. Mason, what are you drinking? What are you sipping on? Dessert?
The better question is, what was I drinking?
That's why you got to go back and talk about all the things that you drank leading up to this point.
I came in unplanned. I just finished my second.
Well, if you need, Corey and I can talk while you go get more beer. It's really not the first or the last time that'll happen on this show.
Well, Mason could even make a pitch for
outside my door with a Nerf gun, waiting for me to open the door to shoot me in the face.
That's
that is the same thing with me, except it's not Nerf.
Barrel roll.
Oh, do a barrel roll. Sierra Nevada Bigfoot barley wine is what I've been sipping on.
Ooh, I like barley wines. I have one in the basement right now called Reindeer Tears. It's a barrel-aged barley wine. A little scared to drink it.
Now, Mason, we were talking about you brewing alcohol and stuff. Is there a way that our listeners could access that and purchase it for themselves?
So because federal laws are a giant load of shit, we're not allowed to sell online. But,
you can say that right now because the government's shut down. They won't know.
Yeah, might be the best time to purchase it. There'll be nobody who can bring the mail to your house.
So we have a contract with Bevmo. If you can get a hold of Bevmo, tell them if you're in California. Sutherland Distilling. I think we just got our license for Nevada as well, or Arizona. Excuse me, Arizona. But Sutherland Distilling, we have vodka, rums, and a rye whiskey that we're able to market. Everything else is through our distillery in Livermore. So if anyone's ever interested, come by, say hi. Very easy. Instagram handle is Sutherland Distilling. Facebook is the same thing. We're always posting about something new that we're doing. And if either of you want to be really fat fucks, pull up that Instagram right now and see the Bloody Mary that they do every other month.
See, I don't like Bloody Marys. I don't like tomato juice. I also
I
just
hate
realized,
them as well, but I love all the shit that we put on top.
and that's why I wish there's a bar in Milwaukee that has like an entire fried chicken on top of. It's like a pitcher of margarita with a fried chicken. It's like $60. I'm like, I wish I liked Bloody Marys to eat the fried chicken.
What was ours? Ours was like $48 or some shit.
That's not too bad for California.
Here's what it came with. It came with a full beef rib, a lobster tail, a snow crab leg, the full leg, not just one joint, the full fucking leg. Like a third of a fucking bottle of vodka and a bunch of tomato juice. That all of it is homemade. None of it is prepackaged.
How far? So your place is in Livermore, California?
Yeah. So Corey,
just-
where are you? You're not in San Francisco. You're outside of San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm in Sonoma County. I'm about an hour north.
Okay. Yeah. So then we're about 2 hours from you. 2-3 hours from you.
Looking at a map here.
Well, you'll have to get familiar with that map because you actually did get added to the wedding list because my drunk ass told my fiance about that
That's
joke.
right. I text Beach and I'm like, hey man, I need you to be my date to a wedding. And he said he would, but so it's okay. So it's like an hour out of San Francisco. There's a conference that I go to every year in San Francisco, and I'm trying to figure out if there's gotta be a way to get out there if I go again.
We were joking that we were gonna get the Matt Vincent to officiate it and just have all the asshole people there. But
just all of your wedding would be all of the meanest people, and that's in October, right?
Yeah, it's October 13th.
October 13th. I'm gonna see if Beach is still gonna be my date.
Yeah, from my house, Matt, it's about an hour and a half.
Oh, it's not bad. I like how everyone got real silent while I asked Beach to be my date again.
Well, now we're all trying to figure out where the fuck we are relative to each other.
Okay, so from my house right now, let's see.
Would you walk 500 miles and then walk 500 more?
It's actually 2,191 miles. It is a 32-hour car ride from my house to yours. I ain't doing that, buddy. Sorry.
And can you believe that there are people that drive to the Arnold from California?
That doesn't surprise me one bit. I know Brandon Chapetti does, but he always stops off in like Texas and shit. I guess I'd drive to the Arnold from here. That's just a brisk 7-8 hours, something like that. I have nothing.
But Ohio.
Yeah, have you ever been to Ohio?
No, but I heard it's for lovers.
It is. That's true. It's also the asshole of the state, or excuse me, the asshole of the country. My buddies and I, we went out in. So one year we went to the Arnold on Friday and went to Cleveland on Saturday, and we went out Saturday night and like found a sushi place, and we were walking through downtown and there was not a fucking person outside. And it was like
sushi in Ohio. Is that akin to like
actually it was pretty good. It was a pretty good sushi place. But one of the guys I go with had never eaten sushi before, so we're like, well, we're here. We're queer. We don't want any more bears. Let's go get some. And I think now my buddy Seth is into sushi, which is chest dicks. But yeah, there was like not a single person outside. I want to say the Heat were not the Heat, the fucking basketball team, the hockey team were playing in town.
Wrong guys, man.
No, Columbus has hockey, so they have a basketball team.
You got the Browns and the Cavaliers. That's what you got in
Okay, yeah. So the Cavaliers were playing. Obviously, the Browns weren't because it was March, and the Browns. But there was like no one outside. What's that?
No one cares anyways. It's the Browns.
So one of the guys in my band is like a diehard Browns fan, and I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but I don't know why. He's grown up in Wisconsin his entire life. He was a Vikings fan at one point, which is not uncommon to see around here. And apparently a player that he was a fan of got traded to the Browns, became a Browns fan. And now he's just a Browns fan. He said he was watching a game. So he has NFL Sunday Ticket without having DirecTV. You can, like, if you prove to DirecTV that you can't get Dish, they will let you pay for a season of Sunday Ticket. And he did it. And it was like one of the games that they lost, which was 16. And He said it was like the fourth quarter, and he just called and tried to cancel, and they wouldn't let him. He's so pissed off at the Browns that he wanted to cancel his Sunday ticket. That dumb bastard. So, how
My
are
fiance on the other side of the wall texted me, yelling at me about my X-Files opinions. She said, "Thanks for stealing my opinions, asshole."
Does she want to be on? She want to come in here? Sure, she really wants to be on the internet right now.
I told her I gave her credit, but she still stands with her words.
Is she going to listen to this?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Thanks. You could have lied.
Why would we expect anyone to listen to this?
That's true.
When half of your viewership is sitting on the other side of the computer, you lower your expectations.
That's actually a really good point. You know, of the 7 people that listen, 3 are on the show right now.
I actually was going to send my wife in my stead because she watches the Grudge movies way too much, which I mean more than once. And
I forgot that they made 2 sequels, and I almost
watched
them.
3? Isn't there a 4th one?
No, there's going to be they're going to do a reboot of the series, but the person who directed the 3rd one also directed 3 online shorts, I guess, after the 2nd one, or around the time of the 2nd one. So there's a lot of Grudge, and there's, of course, the Japanese series that it was originated from.
Which I feel would have been a lot better of a topic to pick instead of this garbage piece of movie.
Well, right now, so I went to watch this last night, and I was flipping through cable channels. I was not looking to watch this. It was just like, all right, I'm going to have to get a fucking around to it anyways.
Sure.
But on Stars, they were playing The Grudge 2, and then Ju-on, the original version of The Grudge, all in a row. So it's something that seems like right now everybody's probably seeing this, who hasn't seen it before and don't know what the fuck they're in for.
Yeah, this movie's not good.
We played CinemaSins as we were going through it, and it was pretty great.
That sounds fun, actually.
What is it?
You've never heard of CinemaSins? It's a channel where they take pretty much every popular movie and point out all of the cinematic faux pas, like 3 minutes of intro credits, CinemaSin. And so when or like they'll say the title of the movie, and that's a sin count against the movie. And it's
awesome.
It's pretty great.
But they'll also on some movies they'll say, but this thing was really so fucking cool that we're going to take away 3 sins. And just like, you'll see the score, you see the tally that's counting up, and then all of a sudden it'll jump back a couple. Because they are very honest. It's like, it's not we're just shitting on this to shit on it. It's we're telling you the things that we think are cinematically like we should be past this by now, but we're not. And we point them all out, but we're fair.
Yeah, like they when they did like all the Star Wars movies, it's like, oh, bullshit, sin. Holy shit, did you see that? That was really cool. We'll take off 3 cents.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to watch. I had never ever heard of this.
Oh, that's a good channel. Like, there's not a lot of popular YouTube channels that I watch, but that one and Honest Trailers is another one
I like
that I watch a lot.
Yeah. Ooh, movie recipes.
Oh, is that Binging with Babish?
No, it's the CinemaSins website.
Oh, they did. They kind of stopped doing that.
Did they? But yeah, Binging with Babish does a lot of this shit too. Although I really enjoyed his the Ralph Wiggum crayon sandwich, but he just like colors cheeses and then does it. It was pretty cool.
Much better than melting crayons.
Yeah. He said he tried melting crayons once and it just didn't go very well. Shocking.
Says you.
Have you melted crayons before?
I gotta say, a green blue is quite tasty.
Jesus Christ.
Were you not a child
the
in
right wine pairing?
When they had a machine that melted your crayons down into more crayons?
Yeah.
I think I remember that, but I don't think I ever had it. I never had like an.
You would have been a creepy 20-year-old when that came out.
Yeah.
Well, what was that?
It's just basically a mini crock pot, though, isn't it?
It was kind of like a weird like smelter.
Yeah.
I'm looking at when this thing came out. Crayola Crayon Maker. That apparently still exists.
Oh yeah. They sell 3 a year.
Seems fucking archaic and dangerous.
For the kids whose grandma already got the Snoopy snow cone maker the year before, this is the next big fucking thing on your list from grandma this year. Grandma, just give me the $5.
That's the great part about being grandma's favorite is you don't have to worry about $5. You just know you got grandma's love.
Or your grandmas are dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of us don't have grandmas anymore, dicks.
Well, I mean, I don't have parents, so fuck you.
Huh. All right.
So all the angry emails that you're already going to write into the show about Mason, you all should feel like assholes right now before you hit send.
I'm just trying to figure out what year this crayon maker came out. I'm going to change the subject real quick. Here's just like a website of a guy melting down crayons in various methods. Still don't know what year this thing came out. You can, oh wow, they made like a new one.
IT, and you should know how to figure this shit out real fast.
Yeah, but beer. and they still make the crayon factory. There's like a new one
every few years.
But the crayon factory now is you melt crayons into multicolor creations. Like this kid looks like someone's thumb is in her butt. I can't tell if it's a guy or a girl. It looks like kind of boyish, but with long blonde hair. And then there's like a fucking dog that's like perfect red and blue. And I know when you make it, it'll really just turn into like this hideous purple dog. Like there's no fucking way that these things come out this perfect. Or you're that happy when you're jamming crayons into some weird heater.
It's better than your nose.
Some weird heater wouldn't call your ass.
That's how Homer Simpson got smart. And no, my crayon maker's not my butt, Corey. It's my prison suitcase.
The oldest I'm seeing is 2002.
Wow, that's like a very 90s sounding thing. Although in 2002 you were 6 years old, 7 years old.
Do you not know how to math? I'd be 9.
It's a fucking joke. In 2002, I was already smashing sliz. Not really.
Did you like Sharpie sliz on your left hand?
I would write sliz in my right hand and then just go to fucking Pound Town on it.
Sliz is her pet name. Her real name is Slizabeth.
I was one of them Slizabethans.
Mm-hmm. We're doing everything we can to not talk about this movie, aren't we?
I know. About number 3, Mason. Where you at, dog?
I'm about a second away from going and getting something else.
Dude, you have to. Although once this one ends, then the P comes on, and that's when I start to rush the show. Yeah. So
take your time.
What number are you on? I'm on the one where I'm regretting life decisions.
I don't think I'll get that deep. Oh God, dang it! I just spilled over my keyboard.
See, regret.
Now I gotta lick my desk and my cans.
Well, it's time to clean out the Cheeto dust, beer, and cum from your keyboard, Matt.
So I had bought a keyboard where the keys stand off the top, so it's easier to clean the Cheeto dust out. I'm just smearing beer all over the place. I'm gonna come in here tomorrow and be like, "Why is it sticky?"
You never are gonna walk in there and wonder why it's sticky.
No, that's what the garbage can's for.
Really? No potted plants?
You can shoot that far?
No, I stand up and come stagger over to jizz into a garbage can.
You know, more
don't tell me you don't.
Masturbation.
What's that?
More than 2 shakes is masturbation.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm married.
More than 4 shakes is the second time.
I don't even know what's happening right now.
Mason, we're going to give you the opportunity, Mason, to describe to us what the fuck the Grudge is.
The Grudge is a clusterfuck of 90s
this is your punishment.
That came out in 2004.
Yeah, 2004.
Yeah, no, this I was talking with Matt about this. This is one of those movies that, you know, I was 11 when this came out. Scared the shit out of me. Watched it as an adult. Nothing.
Scared the shit out of you that someone paid to make this?
Yeah. It very much bothered me that
when you mentioned that this
school, but someone can pay for this movie.
But like we talked about, like The Ring scared the shit out of me when I saw it when it was in theaters, and now I watch it now and it's a goddamn joke.
Blair Witch.
So I like the remake, but yeah, it's same thing.
So the thing with the Grudge and The Ring specifically, they were both films that came as remakes of recent Japanese films, and there's an aesthetic to them that was new and kind of visually interesting to Americans when they saw it. So when you're watching the commercials for this and you're seeing this, I forget, Origo or whatever, I can't remember what the kind of ghost is, but this rage ghost. Yeah. The rage ghost that is in this, and then the naked kid, which is just weird. But it felt very spooky and new. And
this was there?
Oh yeah. So there's to get in the story a little bit. A woman has a serious crush on her teacher, on an American who's living and teaching in a university that she goes to, and her husband discovers her diary about it, assumes that they're having an affair, murders her, murders their son, murders their cat, and then kills himself. And the story is that when someone is killed in an act of a high amount of rage or a high amount of sorrow, that their ghost will haunt the house and essentially kill anybody who comes into the place. And at the time that the story starts, it's been 3 years since the murder-suicide has happened, and the first family moves into the home, a couple and their mother who has dementia. And
quote unquote dementia.
Right. And then they all get killed, but there are assistants who are supposed to be coming to the home to help out with the mother. One of them, essentially the first one we see is this woman Yoko, and we see her get pulled in by the ghost when she goes into a closet or something, or goes upstairs, because I guess the whole thing about the ghost is that they just make a fucking mess around the house at first to get your attention, and then you follow the mess upstairs like while you're trying to clean it, and then either naked kid or angry cat or hairy woman come out, and they grab you and they fill you up with fear and cause you to die. And so I guess it just perpetuates things further, because if one of the ways that you're supposed to die is if you're extremely sorrowful, extremely enraged, I guess fear might be another one. And they just keep killing people and more people and more people and more people, and it just keeps bringing the ghost back.
Well, I mean, it kind of had like a Sixth Sense thing where you don't figure out that the kid's dead until most of the way through the movie. So the mess kind of makes sense, and then all of a sudden you realize he's dead, and you go, "Wow, this kid's dead, and he's a dick."
Yeah, and not exactly his fault, but he's a part of it, and it's just so everybody walks in the house dies, which is weird in and of itself, because the ghost starts chasing people across town. Goes to a completely different apartment building to find the sister of the couple who were living there with the mother-in-law, and kills a cop, kills the teacher who sent both Yogo and Sarah Michelle Gellar's character Karen to the house because they stepped inside.
Just didn't give her a real name. It's just Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. One of the things about it is that it's non-linear storytelling. We open up with seeing Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton, Scott Bakula, Jeff Bridges.
All of the above.
Yeah. So he's standing there. Woman on the bed, who I assume is just actually Al, is like, "Hey, I found out what we need to fix in this timeline." And so Pullman, we see him there, and he's just kind of like standing on a balcony, and he turns back, looks at her, looks over the balcony, and then just falls over it and dies. But this isn't like, it goes from that to the death of Yoko, to Sarah Michelle Gellar getting introduced to go pick up the slack because Yoko didn't show up for work the next day. And she goes over there, and then we start to get some backstory about the couple that moved in. And later on, we'll see the backstory when she walks in and she sees what happens when Bill Pullman goes in there, and he discovers what happened to the woman who was obsessed with him and the family and everything. So you kind of jump around in time. It's not exactly Pulp Fiction or
So the Wikipedia, and I was reading this because I have to, but it said that everything is chronological in the movie. Which
are you sure?
I gotta find it again.
Yeah, because it's going to be out of order. Maybe the Wikipedia is chronological in how they tell it.
It was a lot of like jumping back to memories kind of thing, and that made it very hard to follow at a couple points. But like, also, hey, I was just interested in this movie for 3 seconds, and now I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but it does the stupid thing of we have to explain the audience how this happened. So we're going to have the main character witness to things that happened before she was here. She's going to walk around and like the ghost is showing her because it has to explain to her what happened.
Let me show you
so that we can see it. Yeah, exactly. So here's Bill Pullman finding the stuff and everything, because otherwise she really doesn't know enough to figure out what the fuck is going on or why. But she should just be killed. It's like we have an attachment to you, so we're going to let you see it where everybody else just sees shit, freaks out, has an asthma attack until the ghost finally climbs up on their face and smothers them with fear. I just...
So you both get one free shot to make fun of me. The Wikipedia says the following events are explained in their actual order. The original film is presented in non-linear narrative. So I don't know how to read.
It's okay.
It's okay. They don't require a high school education to get a job in IT in Wisconsin.
I expected a lot worse. Thanks, guys. I potentially was masturbating while reading this, so sometimes words are missed when you go cross-eyed.
It was
those vinegar strokes,
ghost, right? Big spooky ghost.
I do like jerking it to big spooky ghosts.
Nothing like a big clump of hair in a bathtub to make you feel like this is what I need to bang one out to. By the way, this movie definitely made me feel like it's about time for me to cut my hair because it was just gross. It was just gross the whole way. Like I can't look at that shit anymore.
Yeah, I cut mine when I was like 18, dude. You're about 40 years behind.
I'm past that. I'm hard rocking the 80s because I don't know how to do things now. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm not going to look good. I'm really lazy and cheap.
Attaboy.
Straight razor.
There was a long period of time where I didn't cut my hair simply because I'm like, do I really need to spend the money to get my hair cut? It's just hair.
No, I'm definitely at a point where it's at the almost, I think, the length of where I can donate it. And that's more what I'm interested in doing is I've donated a couple of times before. But yeah, it's just doesn't matter.
Now is you just gotta let it grow all the way. Go out and go do some LARPing out in the wonderful fields on the weekends and just start screaming Thunderbolt.
So when my brother got married a couple years back, the park in which he got married, there were LARPers there the day of the rehearsal. Excuse me, it was actually the day of the wedding because I remember I got super drunk for family reasons. And because it was a Tuesday. We'll go with it's a Tuesday. That's we don't need to turn this into the podcast of a therapy again. But I remember running around with a sword after the ceremony trying to LARP with these guys, and they were just not very happy.
Who ordered the Viking? We did not ask for a Viking.
Well, so funny you say that. My brother actually
it, but he brought his own sword, and it wasn't made out of PVC foam.
And it came in a case and everything. My brother actually had for the pictures after the wedding, he had like wigs and big yarn beards and swords and shit for the pictures because I'm pretty sure he LARPs. He just won't tell me about it. No. Nobody wants to make fun of my brother for LARPing.
I used to LARP. I didn't fantasy LARP.
My wife came in here to get her laptop charger and heard me talk about my brother and LARPing, and the door just like creaks back open and she stares at me because she knows he's a closet LARPer. Oh, all right. Hang on. I got a dog now.
Lucky you.
Nope. I think they're leaving now. They hate me.
They just came in and bitch at you about your comments on the X-Files earlier.
Yeah.
I couldn't get mine out of the room earlier when I was trying to start this.
Mine go pretty much wherever food or a blanket is.
Yeah, no, that's I was making the joke earlier that mine has blanket vision. She threw a couch to a blanket.
What kind of dog do you have?
Small Chihuahua Terrier mutt.
Ooh, fuck yeah. Oh, but who's coming in here now? Come here, Dieter. All right, be an internet dog. This is Dieter. He likes to lick inside my mouth.
You moan and keep stroking when he does.
It's funny because that's how you introduced me to your bassist.
What? Ken doesn't like licking inside of mouths.
Right. He likes just licking inside your mouth.
I might have misheard.
No, he's Ken is actually like really weird and homophobic. Which is odd because we know that.
I'm so glad that he's the one that I chose for that joke.
Yeah, so we pushed it to the limit, and Ken and our singer and one of our guitar players were in a different band at one point too. And JR and Nate are the two. And JR was telling me about this one time that they were driving to their other band practice and they kept fucking with Ken and he was getting really uncomfortable. So Nate and JR just took their shirts off in Ken's car and he pulled the car over and got out and wouldn't get back in until they put their shirts back on. Which is funny because Nate has kids. He was engaged for a while. JR is married, has kids. It's like there's no question of anyone's sexuality except mine. And it was just super weird that like Ken gets so uncomfortable about it.
Hey man, give him 5 years, he'll come out as a man lover. Just takes time.
he's 40, he's single, and has a cat.
So that should just speak loud enough.
That's what I said. But Ken's also like one of the nicest people I know. So
I don't like speaking stereotypes, but he's a sister.
See, that's what I said.
But it's okay. It's okay. You know, if you're not ready to come out, if you're never ready to come out, that's up to you, man. That's your call. We support you. We as long as it's not coming from a place I hate. You know,
no.
And that's the thing is I know I've heard you talk about Ken. I didn't know about that aspect, but I know that he's a good guy.
But the thing is, and that's what's so funny. It's like, oh man, Ken, come on, buddy. If he just wouldn't let it get to him so much, we wouldn't do it at all. Like, yeah, whatever.
Maybe it's that he's not actually homophobic at all. He just leans into that as much as he can, so you guys don't realize that he's secretly a LARPer.
I'm gonna ask him. Oh, Ken.
So the Grudge when it came out in 2004. So the Ring came out about 2 years before. So this is a point where the Ring happens. It does very, very well. The Grudge happens. It does incredibly well too. I think it had a $10 million budget and it made what 150 or something. 100
really good job the box office.
Excuse me, $10 million budget that made 187 million.
Yeah. So in like the first 4 days of it coming out, they're like, we've got to fast track another one. Now, the person who directed the original version did the American remake, and then I guess he went on to do the sequels in Japan as well, and did the sequel to this one out here. The sequel, The Grudge 2 in America, is not the same as The Grudge 2 or Ju-on 2 in Japan. They're different stories, but The Grudge was based off of Ju-on. It's the same story told over again. But it like looking at the credits and stuff, at least on IMDb, all the white people are listed first. And it feels like there are Asian actors who are, or Asian American, I'm not sure, but who are in this that are more important to the story than a good deal of the white people, are in it more than a good deal of white people, but the white people all landed first. I think that's kind of a bizarre thing. That it's, I don't know. I think that there's problems inherent to Hollywood, and that's probably one of them. But the story itself is just so slow, and it's not spooky as much as it has some really cool visuals at points. Like there are points where you see stuff, and it's like, oh, you know, that's a good jump scare moment, but otherwise it's not interesting at all.
That is the one thing that I would commend this movie for, is some of the imagery is kind of creepy. Like when the guy's watching the camera footage and the face is just
the eyes.
I thought that was kind of cool. But The story is, yeah, no bueno.
We've seen so much now, especially of the grainy footage, ghosts going across the screen. It's like every haunting show, ghost hunter things they're chasing has stuff like that. But all of the paranormal activities have that, and I personally find ghost stories dull at this point. After The Exorcist and Poltergeist, it's hard for me to really feel that anything has stepped up and done something new with it.
This was just had the feel of like a very old Sinister. Like it had that whole like possessed demon, whatever crap, and then everyone's dead. Okay, cool. Next movie, repeat.
But I feel like Sinister did something more interesting because of the fact that of the serial killer aspect of it and the discovery of what that was. Now I still haven't seen the second one, and it seems like the second one is where it fell apart. But I as much as the first one was still generally just okay, I found what it was more interesting than just it's an angry ghost, and everybody who walked in the house gets killed by an angry ghost. And that's just, there's not enough there to it. And the whole mystery is why the ghost is angry, and that's it. And then we get some semblance of what that is, but it's not explained well in the movie. And then it just kind of stops at the end. Oh, your boyfriend walked in the house for no reason, so he's dead too. And don't answer the phone. Cop's dead too. Everybody just died except for you. You'll make the sequel for 5 minutes, just so we can hand this off to the next person. I get it. Is the most interesting thing about The Grudge that they spoofed it for Scary Movie 4?
That was a great scene in Scary Movie 4.
And they did The Ring in Scary Movie 3, I think. So they've already, like at that point in time, it was just so old hat. But
Scary Movie 2 will still always have the best references of Grab My Good Hand.
God damn
it. Yeah, there's not a lot I love about any of the scary movies, but Chris Elliott in that one is pretty good.
Yeah, someone just brought that up not that long ago, so it's odd that we are now talking about that right now. Quick update. Ken doesn't know what a LARPer is, so I had to explain it to him.
Sure he doesn't.
His response is like dressing up and acting like Dungeons and Dragons shit.
Yeah, pretty much. That about sums it up.
That'll throw us off the scent, Ken. Good job.
Good old Ken. I don't think he actually listens to this, so we can make fun of Ken if you want.
I will make fun of Ken in the same way that I make fun of you, which is out of a place of love.
Out of love. Yeah, fucking, yeah.
But so another thing about... go ahead.
Ken responded. I said yes. He said, shit, I have a hard enough time dressing up and playing everyday adult. So this is a yes. Ken's a LARPer. Let's leave it at that. All right, I guess back to this movie or whatever.
Plus, when he throws on stockings and a bra and goes down to the glory hole,
he's probably got a nice ass. He's got a nice ass underneath those pants.
Whose?
I don't even know what's happening. What day is it?
Me either.
That's it. Sunday.
Probably calling to work tomorrow.
This was also brought to us by Ghost House Productions, which is Sam Raimi's production company, and he's one of the producers on this.
Let me point out that Sam, so we were talking earlier about Bill Skarsgård and his brother and how they're all like doing shit together. So Sam Raimi did maybe a dozen movies and directed. He had major credit on about a dozen movies, and I think in like 9 of those, his brother Ted was in.
Well, he also involved Ted pretty heavily in the Hercules and Xena properties.
Yeah. So what I need is a famous brother, not a dickhead brother.
Well, yeah. James Gunn does the same thing with his brother in the Guardians films. It's fine. We wouldn't know anything about Clint Howard if it wasn't for Ron.
That's true.
Yeah. Sometimes nepotism, it's not like it's okay, but we forgive it because some of our favorite bit actors or side characters or just character actors in general are there because of the nepotism, but it's fine.
Corey, you're my favorite side hoe.
I am. We're not related though.
That's why you're my side
You're
hoe.
the only side hoe.
That's what makes it legal.
You're my side piece.
I don't live that far from Utah. We could make it work.
She goes to Utah a lot for work, so I could probably just hitch a ride. We can make this fucker official.
Mm.
Does Facebook have the ability to be married to more than one person?
I mean, if they didn't, that'd be some sort of, social justice thing that needs to come through.
That's what I'm saying. Should find this out. I'd do it right now.
I don't know. I haven't had Facebook for like 6 years, so.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
Yeah, we did, but Corey and I didn't. Fuck off.
Think you're better than me?
If he does, would that mean that he's wrong?
No, because he is. He's got his life more in order than mine. He's 9 years younger than me or something silly.
It's bad enough that you're young and you still have dreams, but that you're young, have dreams and success. That's bullshit, man. That's not nice to do.
Whoa. Let's not jump to conclusions. There's no success anywhere in sight.
That's true. For all we know, he's a real fuck up. I haven't seen this fiance he keeps talking about.
That is the X-Files mystery that needs to be solved.
Well, I mean, that's all her shit. So.
This movie sucked, all right?
It really sucked.
The movie was not good.
I literally went into this. I was like, that was asking me, so what movie you want to do? Well, we could do one or two. Let's do The Grudge first. I remember that one being kind of scary. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't seen it. Big mistake. Should have went with Green Inferno.
But Green Inferno, like I saw it in the theater. It's still like a newer movie, so like doing this wasn't at the time a bad idea.
No,
it was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
but I feel like it did get 2 sequels, and it is apparently getting a reboot, and we kind of have to face the fact that it had success. But at 13 years later, what compels you to do a reboot of this? Just like what compels you to do a reboot of Rings, of the Ring movies? What compels you to do a reboot of Jigsaw?
I don't remember Rings being good. Jigsaw is it's your basic Saw movie where it's like 90% of the time, hey, we're leading you in the right direction, and then the last 10% it's like, fuck it, and nothing makes any sense.
YOLO swag.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, someone in the background, the script just says YOLO swag for Jesus, and fucking everything goes. But
Jesus, a very good model for what a Jigsaw kill is.
Yep. Yeah, so
your followers have betrayed you. You have where the answers are.
Hollywood, if you're listening, we collectively, the three of us, are willing to sell the rights to Saw 0 AD. Yep. It's the Jesus version of Saw. So basically, Jesus has lost his mind. And
he was a son of a carpenter. He'd have to own a saw, right?
Exactly. All of the apostles.
He was a carpenter. He was not the son of a carpenter.
Oh, that's right. I don't know.
Nice.
I think that kid had fucking daddy issues all the way across the board.
Doesn't matter. The point here, the movie we're selling right now, is that Jesus builds some medieval shit for all the apostles. And they got to get out of it. Jesus wants to play a game.
In 3 minutes, you will be stabbed repeatedly in the torso. If you do not confess your sins to us and deny that you are the false prophet, you will be killed.
Yep. Yeah. $100 million. We'll sell it. Just saying.
Let's go. Fuck you, Passion. We got this.
Trademark January 21st, 2018. The 2018th year in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. $100 million.
Fuck, what was I talking about? I made that joke earlier today. I was like, at this time, 2018, the year of our Lord.
I love doing that. People always just stare at you.
I just love that Matt's legal thought process is that if you just scream trademark, that automatically protects trade.
So funny story, funny thing you say that. The easiest way, so if you as a band create music and you do not
Copyright.
Copyright. And I'm trying to think, like, this was like 10 years ago that this was a process, because now it's much easier to like put your music out and it be a registered trademark, copyrighted, etc.
We just 10 years ago, have a really flaming Spotify playlist and have a drug overdose.
I'm still trying to get us on a fire Spotify playlist, but that's a different conversation. So right now, 10 years ago, if you wanted to trademark your music or like prove that your band name existed, all you had to do was record a CD, mail yourself that CD, registered mail, and force a signature, and that's how you would prove that you had the band name first.
That was copyright. Trademark is different.
You're a fucking copyright, Corey.
And copyright is different from trademark. Trademark is more of like your logo, your band name, that kind of stuff that you have to protect. But copyright was, you could, if you wrote something and you mailed yourself a copy, registered mail, and you didn't open it, then you could take it to court. And all it was it gave you something as evidence in court, but you'd still have to pay for a lawyer. It wasn't fuck you, here's my envelope. Oh, open it. Well, then that breaks the fucking rule. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I remember the same thing from the 80s. That was always the way the poor man's copyright law.
Yep.
Well, speaking of copyright, I'm gonna take us down the fat guy rabbit hole here. Corey, you know the wonderful Lord and Savior of In-N-Out in California.
Yes.
So there is a barbecue place right down the street from us called Sauced that they have a couple throughout. Yeah. So
yeah, we have Sauced here in Petaluma.
Okay, so you're up in Petaluma. Cool.
Yep.
Lagunitas, great road trip.
Three Floyds bought Lagunitas distiller machines. Yep.
What?
I don't know what they're fucking called. The stills. So Lagunitas had stills, and they sold them to Three Floyds, and that's what Three Floyds is using to start their rum, not the whiskey. Yep. All right, sorry.
Going with that. Sauce has started their whole like, oh yeah, we got new burgers. Literally, one of them is called Copyright, and it is just blatantly upping In-N-Out. It's the same fucking thing, spreading everything. They got fries to go with it too, and they're literally animal fries. They're like, oh, we know that they are taking copyright fucking food and throwing it on their menu. You guys saying copyright so many times triggered the
the copyright: sharp cheddar, sautéed onion, house-made Thousand Island, lettuce, tomato, and pickles.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn my camera off. And
$16. It's a $16 fucking. The whole point of In-N-Out is that as far as cheap, somewhat fast burger food goes, they are
good,
better than the other ones. The problem with In-N-Out is they've got a very limited menu. They just recently added the first thing to their menu in 16 years, and it was hot chocolate.
When the fuck did they do that? I have not seen this.
I think it's only certain locations, but yeah, we went there. It's like hot chocolate marshmallows. That makes sense.
So this sauce place, their menu is not on like a real website. So it's on singleplatform.com. Well, the one I'm looking at, someone fucked up and it says that their full-size pulled pork nachos is $1,850.
Someone did fuck up.
Yeah. I found that.
Corey shared a link. I'm opening this and we're going through it all together.
Yeah. No, it's the menu. I just found it too.
All right, new podcast idea, menu reviews. This week we're working with Sauce Barbecue and Spirits.
Not opposed to it. God,
yeah, my boss comes out here from Rhode Island a couple of times a year, maybe, and every time he's here, pretty much every day, he goes to In-N-Out because he grew up in Southern California. And
I didn't think it was that great. I'm a much bigger fan of Whataburger.
It's okay.
No, it's regional thing. It's your local thing. It's like if I go back to Michigan, I'm going to want to go to White Castle's because I grew up with White Castle's and I can't get them out here. Even though if I buy White Castle's frozen at the Safeway and I heat them up, they taste exactly the fucking same.
In my adult life, I have not shit for one day. I have not. There's one day I have not gone with making a BM.
Oh God!
That day was the day after I ate White Castle for the first time.
Wow, that's one that's. I have a story then, because
also White Castle smells the same going in as it does coming out.
No, that's true. That's absolutely true. when I came to visit California before I moved out here, it was my friend and I drove across the country. So that 32 hours you're talking about earlier, we did from Michigan to California in about 36 hours, straight through, didn't stop. And we left his place in Flint, and I like couldn't stop using the bathroom. I just like I was going to get ready and I'd take a shit, and then I'd like start to get in the shower, and in the middle of taking a shower, I'd like, I have to get out and take another shit. And then before we left, I had to take another shit. So I grabbed a couple rolls of toilet paper that I stole from his dad. I'm like, we're going to need these. And then we got in the car and drove across the country. So the drive was about a day and a half. We get here, stay with my friend Anne at her place, have ample opportunity to use the bathroom. I could not shit for 11 days. I swear to you, 11 fucking days. Now, in that time, Anne had money and stuff. She kept taking us out to really nice places to eat. I couldn't really eat. Like, my stomach was just like, I'll take a couple of bites of food and then I won't be able to eat anymore. So my entire system just got fucked up in some way. But by day 9, I was scared. Like, by day 7, I'm thinking, yeah, something's really wrong. But by day 9, I'm like, I'm in fear for my life.
Okay.
Day 10, we were calling around of like, where can he go to a hospital and stuff. It was because it's concerning. Like, you're used to your body.
Days around the corner where they get their enemas from.
Yeah.
So since we're telling poop stories, last year at the Arnold,
we degraded into Mark Bell's Powercast. Let's go.
Pretty much. Yeah, we're pretty much the Powercast now. Last year, so they go to the Arnold, and you literally do nothing but eat protein samples, drink protein samples, and drink pre-workout. So we're driving home, and a buddy of mine has a hard time pooping on the road, and we hit a truck stop on I-90, and both of us just destroyed the toilets there. And it was like, I don't know if you've ever been to a truck stop. I'm sure both of you have. You as a listener, if you've never been to a truck stop, you know that that's not a place that you take. You don't put your naked butt cheeks on that toilet.
Nope. Corey doesn't know what a truck is, only Prius.
So I can't even reason why
I'm pretty sure he drives a Prius.
I know. I drive a.
Thank you.
I drive a Fiesta because I'm
just
from
as
Detroit
bad,
and I'm poor. But no, that was the other thing is I don't use public restrooms. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Freaks me out. My friend, when we used to go to Cedar Point, he told me one time because he noticed it. He's like, I don't understand how we can drive from Michigan to Ohio, be at Cedar Point the whole day, have lunch, have drinks, have sodas in the car and everything, and come back home and you haven't pissed once.
Dude, you don't even pee in a public toilet?
At that point in time, I just didn't have to.
Wow.
I had the bladder.
Off the side of a road out a window while we're driving. Don't you fucking tempt me with a good time.
Well, Michigan has mosquitoes. You got to protect your dick.
That's true.
And they're not small. They're not teeny. They're like
No.
giant malaria carrying motherfuckers. But just like I feel that public restrooms themselves are fucked up. It's a stupid fucking
gross.
thing.
But if it's between shitting in my pants and shitting on a
and that's the thing. It's not like I was keeping myself from shitting. I just didn't have to. Yeah. Now it's a different story. Like, I didn't go see the new Blade Runner, not just because I'm not interested in Blade Runner, because I'm not, but also
so
because
you had hot wings the night before and you didn't want to die.
No, it's that I can sit and piss for 2.5 hours. I cannot sit and not piss for 2.5 hours. So it makes no sense for me to try to go see a goddamn movie where I'm supposed to not move from my fucking seat for that long. Like, I'm 50. I'm fucking 50, and it takes me a long time for the system to work. But when it wants to, it just like, now, motherfucker, run.
Piss sack activate.
Yep.
I had this weird thing about shitting in public, and it was like there was a select number of restrooms that I would use. Target was one of them because I could see the last time it was cleaned.
Yeah.
Dude, when I landscaped, we would mow the lawn at a Walmart, so I would shit at a Walmart at least once a week, and then that's kind of when my public toilet standards just out the window.
Oh yeah, gone.
Yeah. When I was driving around and doing on-site computer repair and stuff, that was when things shifted. That my life had to change because, yeah, I could get through a workday probably, but just times when you're out on the fucking road and you're like, I have to find somewhere soon. And California traffic's a bitch all the fucking time. Like you don't get a choice. And sometimes it's like if you have a nice client and they let you use their bathroom, you don't want to wreck it, but you might wreck it.
I need to take a big greasy shit.
Hey, remember at $300 I was supposed to charge you to fix your computer? Yeah, this one's on the house. Because you're gonna need somebody to come in here to take care of this.
I've already called the plumber.
Yeah.
We
don't supply that service.
Poop is the conversation that the non-existent fiance walks in on.
Whatever. There's gonna be a lot of shit conversations happening at your wedding.
So there's gonna be a lot of shit conversations at the wedding.
The good news is that somehow or another Bill Pullman will probably be there. You have to figure out who he is, but
that's true.
Yeah, don't take me out in public. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in life.
Yeah. I don't even know how I got to this point in my life.
Yeah, I can tell you how we got to this point in the conversation.
Yeah, should we rank this movie? I'm getting the tickle that I have to pee, so we gotta start wrapping this up. So I don't have to piss in the garbage can.
You said earlier that it's gonna happen by the
third. Happens every time. We hit about an hour.
I just cracked a new one, so you gotta wait till I'm done.
Drink fast, little buddy.
Just watch Matt start crying in his seat. just do it. You want your truffle shuffle? It's because Matt is dancing trying to make this happen.
It's about to start happening. Should we rank this movie and then go back to talking about poop?
This is probably more interesting. I don't know to the listener, but to us, it's more interesting to talk about our public restroom stories than it is.
I agree.
I mean, they go hand in hand with the movie. They're both giant piles of shit.
Yeah,
that was a really good point. I'm giving this movie a 1.5. just gonna throw it out there. I'm not giving an explanation. This movie sucks.
The fact that you went first just shows the confidence you have.
Yeah, right.
No, he pushes off to be the last, and I'm gonna undermine all of you. This movie sucked, or I was pleasantly surprised. Oh no, this movie fucking sucked. I'm going first.
Yeah, it was no bueno. Well,
every score Matt's ever given is basically like, I only paid half attention to both this movie and the conversation we just had about it. 2.4. That's it.
It's like Corey's been doing this with me for 2.5 years.
Yeah. Mason, how do you feel about The Grudge?
I'll give it a 2. It gets 1 point for each scene that actually kept my interest. The first when Yoko got taken, and the second when she turned around and was missing her jaw. After that was
pretty fucking gnarly.
That was a great scene. Best scene in the whole movie was that, because not once did Angel come through to save Buffy. So,
or Spike,
or Spike,
or Faith. But Amber Tamlin shows up in the second one.
Let me know when you guys are done.
Let's see, The Grudge. So I just want to say I love Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I have for a long time. And it bums me out that as much as people think of her as a horror icon because of Buffy, that it seems like she always gets screwed by the horror movies that she shows up in. The Grudge, terrible. I'm not a fan of the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies at all, other than just staring at
The Grudge.
Well, that's because you get to see Jennifer Love Hewitt's cans the whole time.
Sweet can.
Scream 2 seems like the Scream that is the most forgettable to me. I don't know why. Especially because I'm sure it's better than Scream 4. Anything has to be, but I just don't recall anything about it. But I know Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it. This should have been a bigger deal. It really isn't. I'm gonna go with Matt's score. I think it's a 1.5.
Suck it. We just having a moment of silence for this piece of shit, or what?
just somber recollection of why did we do this again?
I was trying to think of a good poop story, but you know,
I could sing that Vitamin C song if you want to, real quick.
Oh God, the graduation song.
We remember. Well, those are the only words I know.
I was hoping for like Time of Your Life, you know, the same era of this movie, just sing it off into the sunset.
I liked Vitamin C when she was in Eve's Plum.
Huh?
She was the singer in a band. I believe it was called Eve's Plum, named after Eve Plum from the Brady Bunch, which was a tougher sounding alternative band than what she did in her own pop stasis things years later.
You are
Yeah.
very much right.
They used to play her video on Beavis and Butthead all the time.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I believe the song was Blue,
Colleen
but not
Fitzpatrick.
the Abadi Abada.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if it was a dabba dabba.
Oof.
Another thing in this movie is Clea Duvall.
I love how Corey paid more attention to this movie than the person who recommended it.
I just want to say Clea Duvall was in The Faculty. That was a movie that I liked much more than this. And we haven't really reviewed it.
Yeah, we should probably watch that eventually.
If we're going to go back and do 90s films, that's very 90s. As long as we don't have to watch Disturbing Behavior, because fuck that.
I don't remember that one.
Right. And there's absolutely good reasons. Katie Holmes was in Disturbing Behavior. It was not good. It was not. I remember they were trying really hard to give her like a modern, not catchphrase so much as like, but let's create a new buzzword. And so she kept saying things were razor, and it just sounded fucking stupid.
I don't think I've ever seen this movie, but now I want to, and I just want to refer to things as being razor.
New trend, 2018.
Yep. Well, it was like in Bill and Ted's 2. Everything's station.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Talk about a remake that was also a big letdown.
I mean, we could just go with $1 billion movie. Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie. There we go.
I love that movie.
Dude, literally in my apartment, the whole last week has been me and my fiance screaming, "I wasn't meant to live very long."
See, my wife thinks Tim and Eric is stupid.
Tim and Eric is stupid.
It's super dumb, but it's great.
We tried to watch it on Hulu because they have all of it on Hulu. And we watched the first episode and went, I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I can't do it.
Drugs help. Drugs help a lot.
I bet drugs help a lot.
Yeah.
Take that, opioid crisis.
Hey, I didn't say opioids. I just said drugs. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
I wish I was never born.
What do I feel right now, guys?
So if you wish we were never born, you can contact us by leaving us a voicemail at 805-328-3966. You can email us at pot@gncast.com. You can leave us a message on the website. You can follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We're at Podcast of Terror and all those places. And you can subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, or wherever your favorite podcatchers are. Leave us feedback on whichever one we like. You can tell us that we're stupid, but maybe you still like us. That seems to be a thing that you can do. All subscription options and links can be found at gncast.com/subscribe. And you can join our Facebook page, Podcast of Terror, or for the whole network, Galactic Network. Also, Matt is going to tell you about something nice that you can do for us that won't cost you a thing, but help us out. Go ahead, Matt.
PM me your tits.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
The only thing that costs you is belief in yourself.
Yeah, you can go to amazon.podcastterror.com, shop like you normally would. We may or may not actually see the money. It depends on if Amazon wants to share or not. Fun story. I did get a little gift card from people shopping, so thank you very much. And then my wife purchased something and basically gave me the finger. So
all that progress we made, and your wife just ripped us off and bought what, a stamp? What did she get?
Give me a second. I'm going to look this up. Mason, where can people find you while I find a way to publicly shame my wife?
Well, I can personally be found on Instagram, Mason_lifts, because I'm a basic gym bro.
That's true.
Literally 95% of my posts are lifting, the other 5% are alcohol. Follow Sutherland Distilling on Instagram and Facebook. That's where I work and make booze and make people slightly more tolerant to be around.
I don't even drink, and I just followed both of those.
It was a 20-pound bag of birdseed.
Oh.
Do you have parakeets or is
we have
that
chickens?
Chickens?
Yeah. So
officially, Podcast of Terror. It's for the birds.
Have you ever been on the subreddit Nature is fucking lit? There is literally a GIF of a chicken laying an egg, and it makes me want to not eat eggs.
Well, they just shit out an egg. Like, I have to wash them. They're slathered in feces when I pick them up.
Oh no, there's a difference in feces, and this is just hymen.
Recommend earlier when Matt didn't know what came out of vaginas.
And it goes full circle again.
Not false. Corey, where can people find you on the internet?
You know what? Just go to look at Podcast of Terror, man. It helps support our show by being a part of the community. We love you guys. We definitely want to have as close a relationship as you're interested in. It's all about consent.
We want to get to the point where it's uncomfortable. Still looking for this chicken gif.
Like laying an egg, but in reverse.
I want to tell. Fuck, who was it? I don't remember if it was Donald Glover or Joe Coy that said they want to keep running a joke until only one person is laughing.
That was Daniel Tosh.
That's when it was Daniel Tosh. That was my other thought. That was just, that's when you know the joke is over, when one person is laughing.
I just want to commend you on trying to put the onus of the joke on a black person and an Asian person, and then it actually being a white person who did it, as opposed to reverse, where the white person steals the glory from the black and Asian people. I think that's very forward thinking of you.
Either one of those, because
yeah,
it's all blended together. Bo Burnham was also on the list of potential candidates, but I knew for a fact he didn't say that.
I really love Daniel Tosh's rap work. I think he's tremendous.
I mean, is this a real thing? Is this something I need to look up?
It's just that Donald Glover is so multi-talented. He's good at everything, and Tosh is really, really good at being Tosh.
Dong lover.
Tosh.
Yes.
You do remember the point at which Donald Glover realized that his Twitter handle was Dong Lover?
I thought that was on purpose.
No,
I think that's hilarious. Like every time I see Don Glover, and I'm like, it's just so cool that you went with that, man. You had an opportunity.
I think he noticed it quite recently, wasn't it? That he realized that it was Dong Lover. It was on somebody's like late night show that he said that too.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember which one, but yeah, he's like, I just remember that Don Glover is Dong Lover.
What makes you feel like a normal human being? When I look at my Twitter handle and I see Dong Lover.
Oh boy! Oh, it's on Jimmy Fallon. Okay, that's what I was looking up. I can't find the chicken egg thing. I'll have to keep looking for it. Please do. And I really have to pee. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and on Tapped at Matt the Lifeguard. Next, oh my god, it's starting to hurt real bad. Next week we're supposed to be talking about a movie called Who's Watching Oliver with the star of the movie, Russell Panks. I say who's because he still hasn't sent it to us.
Yeah, we're waiting for confirmation. That is the plan right now.
Yes.
If for some reason that doesn't turn out to be the case, I would like to say that you could check out our Facebook page and we would tell you there that we've changed plans. But
probably do whatever we want.
Matt is a real shitty human being and doesn't give a fuck. And
all I care about is
I basically got onset Alzheimer's. Yeah.
That's true. So that's going to do it for another episode of the podcast. Eric Mason, thanks for hanging out.
Always.
I got to sit really weird because it's starting to hurt.
Have you got your balls tucked underneath your leg yet? So you can
just everything is pinched. South of the midsection is pinched right now.
It's gonna end up actually squeezing the tip here in a second.
I'm trying really hard. Currently both hands still up in the air. I'm gonna wave them like I just don't care. So yeah, that's gonna do it for another episode of the podcast here. Thanks guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Stay scary, everybody.
Fuck you, Corey. Fuck. All right, I gotta save this.
All right, Matt, I just sent you the link. It's pretty bad.
Oh,
click it now, and it's just a gif of running water.
Oh my god! It was
Just fucking get up and walk away. Oh boy, it's loading.
Golly, it was fun. Thank you so much for being here, as always.
Don't worry, I'll hit play on Google Play Music tomorrow, and just so you guys get your one view.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Oh
Yeah.
shit, it is Tuesday. Yeah.
God damn it! It's not loading.
Really?
You're bad at the internet.
I'm not bad at the internet. The internet is bad at life.
That's true.
The fact that Matt's not up and running to the bathroom right now means exactly what I thought, which is he has 3 dogs. He has at least one he can blame for the piss puddle underneath his desk when his wife spots it.